Hey! I'm back, baby.
In my head, I've just been playing Guess Who's Back? Back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. In my head, just going over. But obviously,
I was thinking, Return of the Mac. Yes, it is. Return of the Mac.
we could literally just go through a whole host of songs, couldn't we, to try and describe what's going on at the moment. Drew, how are you?
Man, I am good. I am really looking forward to the spring break. And as you and your listeners can probably tell, I have been extremely busy, hence not being able to come and see you as much as I would like.
Yes. 7 months, a 7 month hiatus.
Is that what it's been?
Well, think about the series one. No, that's a lie, because the very first episode we did was Dan Fitzpatrick, and we did it, didn't we?
Yes,
and
of the new season we went.
Of the new season, the opener, and then since then, we've not seen you, and everyone's going to be wondering why. What's going on, Drew?
What's not going on? I think that's the real question. My life has been extremely hectic, should we say. New job, as we said at the start of this academic year, had a new role. And it's amalgamated my old role and my new role. It's been so, it's been nonstop. It's been crazy. So when I have had downtime, it's very much been time that I have needed to not be thinking about
a child. Always. You can't get. What do you need? Come in.
I saw that. Oh, who is it?
It's me, Mr. Owen.
Hey, me. All I can see is a little hand, just a little finger. I don't know if
there. Yeah.
Is it thing 1 or thing 2?
This is thing 1.
Hey, thing 1. How are you?
I've not been sent a request for PlayStation in any shape or form. Just take it out. Just leave the door. The other one's here as well. Like, if you can see her, come around and say hello. Like,
hey, get it! Oh,
look at that. Let me move this.
What are you doing to your head?
So, tomorrow's Happiness Day in school.
Right there.
Happiness Day.
We get to wear what makes me feel happy. So I went into the shower and I got my hair wet, and with toilet paper, I wrapped my hair so it's like in a bunch of like
curling
curls.
Oh.
So there, if you can see,
Like before a night out?
Yeah. So
like the rollers?
I sleep with this thing, so then it holds it up and the tissues don't come out. Because one time I did that and the tissues all came flying out in the morning.
The tissues came flying out in the morning?
So I want them to be curly, and then I'm going to wear my diverse, and I'm going to have American Girl doll, and I'm going to wear Grinch. So 3 things that I really love.
What is an American...
Girl doll.
Girl doll. I thought you said griddle. I was thinking like pancakes, waffles.
Pancakes make everyone happy.
Yeah.
You know my friend Helly?
No.
Okay. So, she asked her dad, you make me feel happy. And her dad said, oh, why don't you wear a t-shirt and I'll print out my face and I'll stick it on the t-shirt and then you can wear it. And then I'll have a hat and then I can have my face on that hat too, and you can wear that to school.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. I'm obviously doing the wrong thing here. Right.
I'm going to give your dad a t-shirt that has got my face all over it.
Yeah.
Bye.
Careful. Just push that door too. Thank you, darling. And I'm going to have to close that door. All I can hear is like PlayStation.
What are they playing? Baldur's Gate.
Ava came in.
God,
like,
Modern Warfare.
No. She was like Rocket League. Rocket League. And I was like, nothing has come through on my phone for Rocket League. And she's like, and I said, just take my phone. So I've literally just given her my phone. And we'll see what happens. See what the worst that can happen is.
You know, they've not got your face, so they can't Apple Pay it. It's fine.
No, they know the code. They know the code.
Oh, nightmare.
Yeah, we've had this going through before. Ava spending 150 dirham on the App Store.
I love that. I've known you for what, like 8 years, and kids roll in. Hey, Mr. Owen.
not even 5 minutes in. Not even 5 minutes in. And
that's all right. We're all good.
It is what it is. It is what it is. This is a more relaxed feel. It's a more relaxed vibe.
It's child life, isn't it?
It
child
is.
life.
Exactly it. But before my co-workers, as someone described them the other day to me, they're not co-workers, they're freeloaders. But before the freeloaders interrupted us, you were telling us about basically the new role, new job, and how it's kind of amalgamated roles.
Yeah, so head of humanities role obviously takes up a lot of time. That's a lot of time, and it's a lot of planning. It's a lot of reacting a little bit, but it's mostly, making sure that data and schemes of work, all the kind of day-to-day stuff that, heads of science, heads of maths out there, you'll all know. And in the UAE, it's a little different because we've got the MSCS as well. So every other head of humanities in the world that isn't in the UAE just gets to deal with geography and history. I get all the fun stuff as well. And because we're a growing school, we don't have the funds to have the staffing to leadership roles in all areas yet. So I've taken on that. And then head of teaching and learning, more quality assurance. So I've realized, I'll tell you one thing, and I've had this discussion with a few people in the past couple of weeks. I'm in the job that no one likes you in. It's so true. Like, no one likes lesson observations. No one likes marking books, and no one likes data. And there are 3 things that I have to check up on. And it's so that's been really busy. It's been challenging. It has. I actually have a co-worker who we kind of split the assistant head role, which is great. I think I've talked about this before. And she kind of runs the professional development, so planning the PD sessions, introducing what we're using walkthroughs now. And it's very much a, symbiotic relationship. So we work on, I'll go in, have a look at what teaching and learning is like across the school, meet with the heads of department, meet with the teachers and see what the needs are, what the focus really is, what are we missing, what do people need. And then she goes and puts together the plan of how we can implement that as a staff body, how we can support that as a leadership team, and how we can develop the teaching and learning whole school.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it, when you say it's the job no one wants? It's like, well, no one likes. Weirdly, when you're in a middle leader, when you're aspiring, you're like, I just want to do teaching and learning. I want to be the person that does the PD. Because you're like, I've sat through so much PD. It's all terrible, blah, blah, blah. And once you get there and it's your job and your responsibility, it's interesting then how people go, no, the PD's still terrible. I could do a better job.
Hey, I don't know that. Hey, I'm not.
Oh, yeah. Well, sorry. Hypothetical.
Whoa.
But yeah, you do get that, don't you? You can't win. It's you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't with it, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the big push we're trying to do now is establish the culture. And I think a lot of what we are doing PD-wise is trying to get everyone on the same page, because when you've got so many international teachers and so many, different experiences and different backgrounds, and most of our staff are very experienced, getting that consistency across the board is tricky, making sure everyone is, delivering the best for the students, and what one person might think is the best for the students, another person might think is a load of poppycock. Yeah. And it's taking everybody's opinions all on board to try and make something that works for our students. And I think as long as we keep bringing it back to what's going to be best for the students, we kind of can't lose, do we want our students to be engaged? Well, yeah. Are they bored in that class? If they're bored in that class, then we can put, how can we support you to make lessons more fun? Are students getting great outcomes in that lesson? Yeah. If they're not, how can we support you to get better outcomes in that lesson? And outcomes, could be anything from GCSE results to simply being able to write a paragraph, being able to talk. One of the big focuses we're on at the minute is oracy. And schools go through cycles, don't they? there's always like a flavor of the month or a flavor of the year. And I remember innovation and enterprise was the focus a few years ago when I was at school with you, and there was, how can we incorporate that into every lesson? Now seems to be, we bend to the powers of the inspection bureau.
Yeah, a little bit. We do have to, don't we? And it's hard when you get inspected once a year. That the time frame to be able to implement change is difficult. And then when you get a turnaround of leaders as well and turnaround of staff, like there isn't legacy in place, and I think that's a difficult part in terms of the continuation of like a vision or a mission. It's like we start doing something and someone else comes in and all of a sudden it changes, and it becomes really, really difficult. But it's interesting what you say. I remember when we started 9 years ago, and working for Gems, and that was it. That was, you sat down and talking about innovation, and it's like no one could define at that time what innovation is. And it's like we need innovative learning, we need innovative.
Can you now?
I'm more aligned to do it now. In fact, I could say, look, innovation would be like, right, is it incremental or is it architectural? Is it? And there's two other frames that off the top of my head I can't remember quite, but I'm more in line about being able to define it with utilizing that in terms of, do I just want small changes? Do I need to actually completely change? And I hate this word, I hate it, but everyone's going to say disrupt, and at the moment I'm like, I hear this word around so much, it's bandied around now. That's the new buzzword, and it's an absolute load of bollocks. I'm just saying.
Is that like in the tech world, like disrupt auto?
No, it's people. I think it's just more like everyone in terms of what AI is going to bring, and it's like, hang on a minute, we're like 15 months or plus. And it's like we've been using it, and has it really burnt the world down? Has it really changed how students learn? Has it really changed how we teach? Has it, done all these things? And it's like the key thing here is change. And the episode we spoke with Tom Rogerson, and he's like, you need an element of traditional, and he posed it as that. What are you going to bring, over the bridge with you? Because you need to have the things that still work, and there are loads of things that still work. But you need to be reflective and approach it in terms of, what do I want to change for the better? And it was interesting. I had a chat with a guy called Jason Gullier recently. An episode will be coming out. It might even be out by the time this one goes out. But he used the word scrap and salvage. Like, what do I want to salvage? What do I want to scrap? And I thought that's a really good way of looking at it. And again, we had very similar, ideas about this idea of disruption. And it's like, no, we don't need that. We don't need to burn everything down. Yes, I agree that assessments need to change. Yes, I think exams need to change. But the actual premise of what's being taught or how it's being taught, I think there's things there that could be changed, but it doesn't need to be burnt to the ground and rise from it something new as the ashes of the phoenix type of thing. That's my little rant. That's the buzzword that's starting to really grate on me at the moment because I keep hearing it so much and so often.
Actually, that's a really nice way of thinking about how we can use more traditional teaching techniques and scrap and salvage. You think about using AI to help mark assessments. So you said their assessments need to change. I still teach a very heavy timetable. Hence, I don't have the time to meet people outside of school as often as I'd like. And with that comes a heavy marking load, and we've got GCSE exams upcoming. The A levels are just around the corner. Coursework moderation, coursework marking, that kind of stuff is all well in the works. But if there was a way that we could speed that up and streamline, I'm not saying do the entire job, because there has to be some kind of element of understanding. And I'm not saying AI wouldn't understand if you were doing a test. If you were doing like do they still have the old school, was it an ISA?
ISAs, no, it's got those ages ago.
Okay. But in terms of customer service, if you're doing an assessment on customer service in something in the hospitality industry, so you're looking at BTECs and the assessment is based on presentational skills or eye contact, I'm sure there's ways that in the future AI would be able to assess that better than humans could. But for the time being, you get a feeling, don't you, for how good someone of a salesman is. So if it's those kinds of assessments, then you're always going to need that human element. But when it comes to, they use it in the SATs in the US, don't they? They always have those because they're marked with a pencil, number 2 B pencil, 2B pencil. And if we've got machines doing that for us there, why can't they mark a piece of writing that would simply give it a level? So if you've got a 9-mark question from Edexcel, here's the frame, here's the rubric, here's the mark, that could actually not take away what we are doing, because we would still want to mark to see where the marks have come from and be able to support that student gaining those best outcomes if we're, kind of teaching to the test as it gets to GCSE time. But to moderate as opposed to remove. Yeah. That might be a way.
I think it's the big question over it is, what are we looking at sort of automating? What do we want to be able to, as teachers, kind of just ship out to these types of things? They're not quite there yet. They're getting there with certain things. And, the problem is there's so many AI platforms now, and all offering different things, and some are great and some are just trash. It's, it's all about probably the front-facing thing, the UX design that's there to be used. But I think a lot of it's just trial and error. A lot of it is just that experimenting and working through what works for you, in terms of your classroom and your lessons, and what doesn't. But interesting, because obviously I have lots of conversations about this, and all the people I speak to, it's always about AI. So you make an assumption that everyone's using it, everyone knows about it. And obviously first episode we did all the way back in September when we were talking with Dan, you kind of alluded to the fact that you were just getting into AI. Obviously, you wanted the book for the school. It's like, over this time now where you've been going into classrooms and having this, a bigger say on professional development, what's been sort of the noise about AI in your school?
I think the main thing is how we can decipher whether students are using it to produce their work. I think especially in terms of how we use it to plan lessons and things like that. Personally, I've been using it to develop ways of making easier reading. It was something that I spoke about previously, and I spoke to Dan about last time, was having a body of text and then asking something like ChatGPT to turn this body of text into something that's easily accessible for someone of a reading age that's much lower. It saves me a little bit of time of rewriting it, but quite often what I've seen is that I end up then spending longer adapting it to suit my needs for those, because I've got the individual student in mind. And it actually probably would take me 5 minutes to knock up a quick paragraph, whereas it would take a little bit longer to keep giving the feedback to ChatGPT, saying, okay, can you make it more simple? Could you use these kinds of words? Could you use this? It might take me 5-10 minutes to create the prompt in the first place. So in that sense, for me, it's maybe slowing me down a little bit if I was to continue using it. But I imagine my practice would get faster, as it used to take me, 2 hours to write a lesson plan. Now you can knock one up in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you use a 5-minute lesson plan, you're golden. It's it comes with practice, it comes with that. But that's been my main focus, and using it to create gap fills. So I'll take a body of text from a textbook, maybe ask it, okay, can you remove 15 words here that are more than 5 letters each? And just automating really simple things, but nothing drastic. I'm not asking it to generate stuff. What I have been looking at is using AI to create images that I would be looking for as well. So teaching geography, if I want an image of a specific waterfall, I mean, it's really easy to go on Google Images and find a waterfall, but to have certain features of a waterfall, like maybe I want one with a really large plunge pool, maybe it's already started undercutting, maybe it's got a gorge growing at the back that students can then use, especially when you're looking at A-level questions or inquiry-based learning. So having things like explain the feature shown in figure B. Yeah. They've actually got to identify what the feature is. Now, one of the most difficult things is finding the images that aren't on past papers, finding the images that everyone doesn't use and that are maybe a little bit a little bit trickier for students to be able to identify certain features. So trying to get them to generate that, that's been something. That's just my own personal. In terms of observations, I think people are too scared to use it properly in a lesser, particularly. I don't know.
I used it.
I've not seen any yet.
I don't know if I spoke about it. Like, so when we had our DSIB inspection of the one lesson I got observed in, my kids were using it. And that was actually noted. I remember the feedback was talking about the use of AI and how we'd been obviously using it. But even still, I think there's more teachers at ours that are using it to help with planning, but haven't crossed the threshold of using it with students. You know, like, and this is this term of co-creating tasks, rubrics, whatever it may be, but actually working that way with students. Yet I think people are a little bit too scared, or not scared is probably the wrong word, but they don't have that depth of knowledge that they probably would feel comfortable with. And I think that's often can be reflective of the room you're given within a class or within a school to trial, experiment, and fail, as it were. And that's why I always say to people, it's important to have a guinea pig year. I always just year 7s and 8s, just trial. And I openly say to them, it's like, right, guys, we're going to trial this. And it's the ones you can have the most fun with. And then when you get to 10s, 11s, 12s, 13s, it's like you can integrate that into it. Because otherwise, I find my exam groups at the moment, especially because it's like, right, you've got to get through content, got to finish this. It's like you're leading the way as a teacher. Probably I find I'm like too much. So I need to take a step back and be reflective and go, what am I using that I've trialed and experimented with my lower groups that I can bring into this to make it engaging and for them to be fun and, for them to get that benefit of learning from. So you're utilizing these different things. And for me, I think because I've used it for so much now, I use it every day in everything I do near enough. It's a staple part. I've just got so accustomed to it. But I was reflecting today and thinking, oh, geez, has it made me a worse questioner? As in being able to stand and like, here's the content, here's a lesson I've designed, but do I still have the content knowledge to be able to structure questions? And I think in reality, I do. I think that's just experience, and because I'm old. And I've taught for that long, it's like, yeah, those types of things have been.
I'm catching you up now. Look at
my kids. I need to shave, and like if I grow my beard out too much, there's just like hamster white parts and the hair, like the kids. And yeah, kids are great. Kids are great at grounding you. I know. You're all right. One day you still can't grow a proper mustache. You can't be that old.
Hey, I've got pictures to prove very differently. I think you're right though. I think one of the big things is we've been dogs just got back. One of the big things that we've really been trying to push is risk-taking lessons, because they're the best lessons. They're always the best lessons, and they're best for everyone because you either get a fantastic lesson out of it, great, or you learn something and you learn something, okay, that didn't work. The best lessons I've ever had have failed. The best lessons for me have completely failed, and I've gone, oh, that did not go well. And it might be that you try the same thing with 2 classes. So if you've got 2 year 7 classes, I will try this for, I don't know, the jelly bean game when it comes to population. Yeah. The jelly bean game is like a classic, comes out every observation that you see a geography teacher with, it's going to be the jelly bean game. And you're kind of like, oh, I don't want to see the jelly bean game again. Can you flip it on its head? So I did a mining game and about environmental damage and mining. And we used cookies. And it was about, can you extract the chocolate chip from the cookies?
Yeah.
And then can you put the environment back together? Well, I tried this with a year 6 class transition. I thought, I'll just try something a bit different. Man, the cookies were gone in about 4 minutes. There was no cookies left. There was kids swinging off the roof because they were hyped up on sugar. I was like, I'm never doing this again. Tried it again with year 9 and they loved it. And then they ate the cookies, So it's about trialing things. It didn't work that first time, but I learned, okay, I don't know these children very well because I don't teach year 6. That's not my area of expertise. But then when I had a class that I've taught and I know and, very, very well, trial it with those. Behavior management, no issue. Not that it was with the year sixes. Just excited to see someone who's not their normal teacher and they're excited to have cookies in the class. But
we get that on transition day. Like we had one not too long ago actually. So the year six is coming for science, and just simple things like pH testing, like different water. So we always have this one, right? Here's a bottle of water. It's in a science lab. Should we drink it? And like going through these whole steps, and then they're just basically doing the simple pH tests, and then we're talking through. We run Neopods, it's on their devices, and it's like a hybrid lesson of sorts, even though it's run synchronously. But they love it; they absolutely love it, and because you can do that. So when they go back to like going to English or math that don't have the luxury of being able to do those things, it's like sciences. But then they come in with this idea of, can we do an experiment every lesson? And then it would be great to be able to do that. And the curriculum we have would allow for it to some extent. But it doesn't then necessarily fulfill the other part of the criteria that they need to be able to do, which is they still need a depth of knowledge. They still need to have an area of understanding and so forth that goes with it. And that's the challenge of designing curriculum. And that's the problem we face at the moment, isn't it? But let's I say lighten the mood. Let's pivot quickly, because I'm interested, obviously, from a Dubai perspective and the role you're in at the moment. Obviously, I think last time we were talking about the quality of teachers we can recruit. And I've seen you put a few posts out recently, haven't you, in terms of trying to find history teachers.
After you sharing that post, my LinkedIn profile went wild. Thank you very much. I've hit that elusive 500 plus connections and everything now. I actually got an email from LinkedIn. I thought I'd done something wrong because it said I had something silly like 6,000 impressions on my post.
That's fantastic.
It was incredible. I tell you what, though, I wish I'd have, actually written a proper post. It was just like, if anyone needs a job, just hit me up. Like, it was the most bland statement.
Well, you know what? You can't take the boy out of Manchester, as it were, can you?
Thank you very much for that.
Did you manage to find a history teacher then?
Hopefully, by the time this goes out, we will have sent an offer and recruited. Actually, spoke to someone today. Fantastic guy. I've spoken to loads of people, and the candidate pool out there is fantastic. Very, very competitive for many positions. You've just got to make sure that the school is right for you, and that we've been looking back in the UK mainly. We're opening a sixth form. We need members of staff that have sixth form experience, that are, one of the worst things you can do moving out to Dubai, I think, or moving out to any country internationally, is coming out or moving away from the UK and not having a bank of resources that are all ready to go and just ready to literally pop off and teach. You need to know your subject content inside out. You need to be confident delivering what you want to be delivering. And if you're, there's so much else that goes on in Dubai. It's such an amazing place to live, but it's such an intense place to live that if you can't just walk into your lesson and teach at the beginning, it's very, very difficult, and people find themselves really struggling with that work-life balance because there's so much going on. You're in a new country, you want to explore, you want to go up the Burj Khalifa, you want to go to brunch, you want to visit as many different people, places, landmarks as you can at your weekends. So your focus isn't going to be on how can I make that year 7 lesson the best year 7 lesson ever, and really it's not. The reality of life hits. Sorry.
I just like to echo what you've said. I remember when I moved out, so I moved and I had to teach the IB diploma, having never taught it before. And so I had all this A-level experience. I still did GCSE, so my Key Stage 3 and GCSE was fine. But I was then having to teach, this course I'd never taught before. And that took up a lot of a sort of mental space. And with that having, two kids under 2, and then obviously everything else that comes with it, and then adapting and adjusting. Like now I could say, as an older, even more experienced teacher, I'd pretty much be confident moving out because I'm not bothered about going off and doing those weekend things. I'm settled in my life space here. This is home. But it'd be interesting. The influx, we're going to have a huge influx of teachers. I wonder statistically, I was on an onboarding call Sunday, where today. So on Sunday, I was with onboarding call with Arcadia, and there was probably 25, maybe 30, give or take, around there. And this is obviously a through schools. You've got primary and secondary, and some of them are here, and some of them are coming out from the UK, and they're going to experience that in terms of the meals, the restaurants, the brunches, all those things that we're just like, now, no, I'm not bothered by, but they're going to do it, and it's hard, isn't it? And so I think there's some truth in what you're saying. I also think at the same time, if you are moving to teach NYP or DP, because there's quite a few schools that do DP over NYP, it's like there's still loads of resources online, and speak to the departments, the buddies that you're going with, and just ask for them before you even get here. I would say is the best thing, because then you can at least modify and tweak them to your teaching style. I think that would be the best bit of advice from my side. It's like, just get a hold of them over the summer, because like they were talking about the dates, and I don't know what yours is going to be like. Like, when are you hoping for your new staff to be arriving?
It's a good question. I think it'll be around the late August, maybe the 20th, 18th, 20th of August, maybe even a little earlier.
Yeah, so we've not had calendars confirmed yet, but potentially it's going to be like mid-August, so it might be like the 14th, 15th, so whenever that is.
I think that's when I'm going to be back in work anyway, I think. So that's
so I'm like, I'm thinking about when I fly back. But what the point from that is, I think they're landing on the 14th, something like that, and they're then in school the day after. And it's then, right, here is your induction week, and then on the next one, it's like everyone else is back in, so you get like a proper onboarding and in. So you literally hit the ground running.
Yeah. And it's, I think that's why it's so important to be prepared, because that first week in Dubai, the induction week, obviously there's going to be so much information fired at members of staff, and we've started our onboarding process here. We've got a call in just after the spring break, where we will be going through some of the process, some of the systems we have in school. So things like, what does a typical lesson look like in SAFA? Now, for us, it's every teacher teaches to their own strengths. They teach it the way they want, but there are things. We are a solo taxonomy school. We do follow Rose and Shine's principles. It will be a very teaching and learning focused call, so that people can prepare. And we are very aware that it's a big jump, especially if you've never lived abroad before. You're not used to the time it takes to get visas sorted. Maybe if your school doesn't provide accommodation, you're moving into a short-term hotel stay, so like the 30-day rents over at the 30-day lets in the hotels before Airbnb for a short time, whatever it may be. That's, all of that adds a little bit of pressure, and just a little bit of pressure from everything, a little bit of pressure here, a little bit of pressure here, a little bit of pressure here, along with the get to know you stuff that you will be doing. Because if you don't have a network out here and you're out here on your own, you want to do as much as you can. You want to be involved. You want to go and meet people. You want to go, if you're into Dungeons and Dragons, go to a Dungeons and Dragons night at Back to Games. If you're into lacrosse, go and play lacrosse at the American Academy. If you're into football, get on a football team. Get out there, just get involved with something, because you don't want to, feel isolated. You want to be with like-minded people. You move into a new country, just get involved. And because of the culture out here, and because of everything is so transient, and there's new people in and out all the time, it's one of the greatest reasons, one of the biggest reasons that I live here. What?
Confirm. Here we go. Interruption. PS5 interruption.
PS5 interruption.
Is that what you needed?
Just while we're at a natural break, can you hear pots and pans clinking around in the background?
Not really.
Okay, that's good. Just checking.
Push it, Ave. Push my door to. Close my door as you found it. I tell you what, if I could drop kick my oldest child, sometimes Like Kerry's.
Can we just get a sound bite of that, please?
Yeah, I'm editing this, so no.
Can I have that as my ringtone?
Yeah. If I could drop kick Ava, sometimes I really wish I could. No, she's the worst part of me. Kerry tells me she's the worst part of you. It's like my door's closed. She opens the door, takes my phone, walks off, and just leaves the door slightly open. Doesn't leave it as she found it. I'm just like, shitbag. It really is. It's like all these emails I'm just getting. Ava's trying to log into something. And just like,
that's how it is. You're looking at your emails as
all
well.
those pings. It's emails. Yeah, it's just emails.
I can't hear them.
Well, you'll be all right. It's because of these mics. I don't know if you've taken the thing off, like the microphone part on the top. Mine's a bit looser because it's older. But
ooh,
yeah. It's like cardinal. I don't know if it's, but it's just directing.
That's
so the further away you get, that's why you want to be almost not quite deep throating it, but close enough.
Got it. Right, that's good.
Yeah, good to know. So
then that was it.
Obviously we get back into it with that minor interference there. How's life generally been? How did you survive the storm, by the way?
I was trapped for days. Oh, there's my dog in the background. Hey, Reg. Hey, Reggie. We were trapped for days. So the first set was actually really annoying because it was half term. It was February half term. So it rained on the Saturday night, I think, or the Sunday night. And
it was the Friday for me. Wasn't it the Friday night? Because Saturday.
It was Friday recently, and we lost the weekend because of it.
Yeah.
And we were supposed to go out. We were supposed to go and do. I can't remember exactly what we were supposed to do.
Was it meant to be at a brunch?
No. I've only been to one brunch this year. Maybe two.
My birthday.
Two. Your birthday. That's and then Emily and I went to Haleo. That was the new one at Atlantis Royal. Oh,
I need to go there. I've not been. Like, I really want to go. I'm trying to get Kerry because obviously within the design, and she's already been. Kerry got to go to some fantastic event there and everything. And I'm just like, do you want to go at some point? And she's like, yeah, leave it with me. I'll see what I can do. No,
it's really nice, really, really nice. But the flooding. So yeah, the flooding. The first one was over February half term, and we were supposed to, because we were kind of, we'll not go away over February half term. We'll just spend some time down by the pool. We'll catch some rays because we're going away for spring break. So I'll talk about that later. And then it absolutely chucked it down. We tried to go to the gym in the morning of, and ended up canoeing back. We got stuck on our road. So you know where I live, and like you come out of the road and you're still within the compound. It took me an hour and a half to go down the road that I live on and do a U-turn to come straight back. So because the exit to the compound was completely flooded. So we just stayed in the house for 2 days and didn't leave. We walked Reg. Reg is terrified. The dog is absolutely terrified of rain. He's the softest dog in the world. He's proper desert rat because it rains and he's like, no. And he'll put a paw on it and go, no. Let's go back in. It's cold. How did it hit you guys?
The first one was all right. I mean, that February month for me is a bit of a blur because I just spent so much time like celebrating, did so many different things. Because my mum and sister came and surprised me, which was great. And we were meant to go out to, Kerry had booked us Friday night. We're going to go to Rhodes, is it W1? And Ava was really ill. So Ava in the morning, she reminds me of this because she thinks I've got no sympathy for her.
So you left her at home.
No. She was like, we're on the way to school. And she's like, Dad, my tummy hurts. I don't feel very well. I went, you'll be fine. Have some water. You'll be fine. So anyway, she was like, oh, okay, end of school. She's like, can I go off with my friend? It's Friday. It's 12 o'clock. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. Like, we're going out tonight. So we'll sort out to come to get you. Anyway, I got a message then about 2 o'clock. And it was from Kerry just going, Ava has been sick in the spring souk. I was like, oh, my days. All right. It's like, where is she now? She's like, back at her friend's house. I was like, right, I'll get myself sorted. I'll go and get her. And at this point, Ava's messaging. And she's like, Dad, I was sick in the restaurant in the souk. I was like, okay, are you feeling better? And she's like, yeah. I was like, right, I'm gonna come and get you. And she's like, no, I'll be all right. And I was like, you sure? Yeah. Anyway, a few minutes later, she's like, Dad, he's like, I think you need to come and get me. I've just been sick in my friend's house. Like, oh. So we were meant to go out on the Friday. It's like, no.
I've just put a face mask on, Ava. You're gonna have to wait 40 minutes.
She was really bad, to the point where like I think she was like, must have fallen asleep by about 7 o'clock in that evening.
Oh, bless her.
Mum and sister had arrived. We got some takeaway, and then we actually went out on the Saturday night. So we went to the restaurant. It was really quiet. We had an early booking, and Ava fell asleep across 2 chairs in this restaurant at 7 o'clock at night. And I'm like, well, I can't drink too much because I'm going to have to carry it out of here. And the other one fell asleep as well the same way. But it was amazing. But the rest of the time, like, they were here, so we were doing things, and we had Valentine's Day, and then we had some friends here, and then we went and stayed in Iraq and travel. So I know it happened. I don't think it was too bad for us. The second time, which was the other couple of weekends, that was horrendous.
Yeah,
absolutely horrendous. Where I was meant to go and meet someone who was in like Business Bay area, who was from the UK, and staying. And I ventured out and very quickly ventured back. Like Livy was meant to have a dance contest with Diverse. Kerry like went out early in the morning and very quickly came back. She was like, no. She said people in the Springs were going like the wrong way down the road because they couldn't do the U-turns. Everything was too deep. Yeah. It was just ridiculous. So, if you are moving out to Dubai, it's not...
bring a canoe, bring a boat.
It would have been stupid to say, bring a waterproof. And I was like, what? And I was like, actually, you know what? I don't own one. And I recently traveled to Bucharest and... didn't have a jacket because I literally don't have one, and it was freezing. We went out on the Saturday night, and I just me in a shirt, and I had to borrow a gilet from someone. I was like, I literally don't have a jacket anywhere, so bring a jacket with you would be my
I've only got
piece of advice.
Or you can go the other way. I've only got this absolutely enormous jacket that I took to Iceland with me. So just the tiniest little drop of rain, and I am like, okay, wellies on, everything.
You mean Engage Land, don't you?
Engage Land. Yes, Iceland.
That's it. That's exactly it. Not the supermarket.
No, that's... everyone's got good chicken tenders there. I'll tell you that now.
Definitely chicken?
Beaks.
Maybe, baby.
Please
so you said you're
edit
going away.
that out because I don't want a lawsuit or anything. How they make their money?
I don't think that's really how they make their money. Spring break, you said I was about to transition nicely in then. You interrupted me.
Wow.
You mentioned earlier you're going away. We've got spring break coming up very, very soon.
Oh, yes.
Where are you off to?
We are going to Cape Town.
Ooh.
I'm so looking forward to it. I think because we didn't go away and we've had all the floods and we've been trapped in. And I was saying before, it's been very difficult at work, and the hours I've put in this year have been pretty substantial. It should start to die off as I get better at the craft and I understand more how to streamline my own workload. And I'm not complaining about it at all. Like, I'm actually really, really enjoying the role and enjoying what I'm doing. But it is a lot of hours. So I have really been looking forward to getting some time away, putting the screen away, putting the device down, and just having some time with Em and just not thinking about anything. Not that I don't want to think about work or don't want to think about it, just not thinking about anything. Just enjoying exploring a new city that I've never been to before, exploring Boulders Beach, going to see little penguins and climbing Table Mountain and going to some we're going to go to Table Mountain. We're going to go on like a little cheese and chocolate tour and wine and we've got so much booked in. Go and just spend a bit of time at the beach. We've got I think 9 days. Nice. It's honestly I can't wait. And we've booked some of these top dog restaurants, which are, one of them's a top 50 in the world. I'll find out what I can't remember. What, the Test Kitchen is called. One of the best restaurants in the world. Like, like every year on year comes out as and you know me, I do like my food and
yeah, I've only ever been to South Africa when I was 22, first year of teaching
Taylor Swift
on a rugby tour. First school was like rugby tour, like three teachers, and one of the lads' dads came, and there must have been like probably about 40, 45 kids, and we did Cape Town and Bloemfontein and Sun City. And I've never been back. We were meant to go for the Lions tour, but it was during COVID. So
I do remember you saying. But...
and I'd still love to take Kerry because it's beautiful. And like, there's loads of South Africans here in Dubai as well that you get to talk to, and you know, you could get some good recommendations off those guys. But the food's great. The exchange rate is very favourable to us. So the cost of things is good. And yeah, man, well, I hope you have a wonderful time.
Thank you very much. You know,
very excited, very jealous as well.
It was a toss up between the Maldives, where we can lie on a beach and spend triple the amount, or go and actually explore and do something really exciting. And I was having a discussion about, you know, because it seems that everyone in our situation, you know, have you heard this term before? A dink couple.
No.
Double income, no kids.
And
it's like this. I was reading about it a couple of days ago about the new life of dinks, and it's having you know, it's a population thing about the impact it's having on population structures around the world, but and it's particularly relating to the Middle East. And I can't remember the point I was going to make now, but yeah. So a lot of people in our situation tend to go on the holidays to the Maldives or Seychelles and kind of have that relaxing. And it just doesn't really suit me and my partner. We spend 15 minutes lying on the beach. We'll go to Kite Beach at the weekend and lie down for 15, 20 minutes and be like, sandy and hot, do you want to go and do something? And we end up we went rock climbing a couple of weeks ago, and you know, it's just doing something else. It's just the kind of people that we are. We're not sit down and chill. It's more. Yeah,
I think we're a little bit in between. But we are, because Kerry, obviously I was 40 this year and Kerry turns 40 next year. So we're kind of looking at doing the Maldives.
40 years old, this guy. Listeners, he's 40 years old. If my hairline and jawline look even close to that in the 12 years when I'm 40.
12 years? Who are you kidding?
They don't know.
Mate, I need to have a share. I need to spin this out. It will do me some favors. It's just good lighting. That's what I say to everyone. It's just got good lighting. But yeah, we want to do it. Kerry's 40 next year, and I said, look, we'll go spring break. But so we need to get it done now before at some point in the next couple of years.
Like, is that the Maldives you're talking about?
Yeah,
sorry. Yeah.
Because Ava's 11 in September and Olivia's going to be 9. And at some point, they're going to want separate hotel rooms. Because at the moment, I'm like, they're both girls. I'm just like, no, you can sleep in a double bed together. It's like, I refuse. Apart from when we went to Ras Al Khaimah a couple of weeks ago, actually, friends were here and we paid, and we turned up, and the guy was like, for some reason, your reservation's been cancelled. I was like, what? And it's like, I've paid for this. And they were like, no, it's an error on our side. Like, our online system has cancelled it. The code you've got. And he said, we've never had an email saying this. It's like, no. It's like, so they put us up in this suite. Like, the videos of it, and it's like, it was amazing. And they
that was sweet.
Yeah, they put in like 2 single beds for the girls, and it's like a full-on lounge. And they brought 2 single beds that hardly took up any space. And me and Kerry had this huge bathroom. It was amazing. It was at the Intercontinental in Ras Al Khaimah. In fact, we're going back in a couple of weeks for our wedding anniversary because we thoroughly enjoyed it. But I was thinking to myself, it's like, I could do this, just like pay for a suite and just like get 2 single beds put in for the kids. It's like, that would work rather than paying for 2 bedrooms because it's like the same cost.
Probably work out, about the same
Probably
as
works
well.
out the same. It's like, there we go, first world dad problems. It's like Ava's wanting a phone.
How can I spend these millions and millions of dirhams that I have?
Quite easily with 3 women living with me. Like, unfortunately, that sounds quite a sexist comment. It really isn't. My eldest goes through clothes like nobody's business. Like, she's just growing constantly, and as that precipice of getting into secondary, needing a laptop, wanting a phone, and at some point she's going to need it. Like, I need her to be safe. She wants to go out and travel. Like, Dubai is extremely safe, but it's like, it's going to be right. We're going, we're going to go off and do some stuff with my friends, and going into the malls. And it might be a case of, well, we'll take you there. We'll be here. You go off. And if you want to buy anything, because there's the next thing, and there's there's more things coming out right now, isn't there? Like children's cards and debit cards here, which is great. There's the guys at Squirrel, Ben and Matt, who are doing fantastic things with financial literacy in schools, which is great. So kids are getting that, but from a parent's perspective, it's like, oh, I need to plan and be organized and have this. So my millions of dirhams, unfortunately, don't exist. They get shuffled off. Looking at holidays,
siphoned.
Yeah, basically preparation. I'm dead anal with it, because I'm like, in 8 years' time, Ava's going to university, and I'm like,
whoa.
I'm like, you've got to start planning now. And Kerry's like, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow, and I'm like, I think we need to do this, and this over the next 9 years, and so we're complete opposites in that respect. But it's scary, because 9 years is what we've been here. So in the next 9 years. And that will quickly come around.
Fly by.
And you speak to a lot of the parents, and I'm going to be having these conversations soon in my new role. And you've got a new sixth form opening as well. We'll be having these conversations. I'm sure we'll be, co-creating together, hopefully. But there's going to be
now. Well, this is just before you go into that. In fact, no, do that, and then
we'll come back to it. But you're going to be speaking to parents about, right, do you get home status or cost of going off to America for university? And, when did you start planning and saving for these things? And it's at the forefront of my mind, very much burning a hole in my head about what to do. So, yeah. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, definitely. No, I was going to say, in terms of co-creating, it should be much easier for us to get together more now as well. Thanks to
Shameless
plug.
Yes, thanks to Smart Technologies here, who were collaborating with us, co-collaborating here on the International Classroom. I was there at Avian Tech yesterday, who are a distributor of Smart Technologies. It is an amazing space. The pleasure of speaking with Guy at Repton and Dr. Adriana, who is the founding principal at, I think it's Aliwa Schools. There's one in Al Ain. There's an episode coming out soon. It'll probably be out before this one, actually. But doing fantastic things. And the tech they have and how they can be used for a pedagogical practice and for engagement, all the things we talked about. They resonate the same values as we do in terms of the things we want. So it's thanks to them that we are at this point now where we can be anywhere in the world and have these conversations, not having to worry about driving to and
rowing our little boats all the way up the canals of Dubai.
We could be the teaching Kelseys. Have you seen New Heights podcast with the Kelsey brothers?
No, Kelsey.
You need to go on it.
Travis Kelsey.
Yeah.
As in
Taylor Swift.
Is he American footballer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just won the Super Bowl.
What were you going to say?
I thought you were going to say like Taylor Swift's boyfriend, because you only know him through Taylor Swift.
No, I only know him through NFL. Taylor what?
What? No, it doesn't fit in. I don't know that. It doesn't fit in with my rock and roll tattoo lifestyle. Sorry.
No. Carly Rae Jepsen is an absolute queen. I will not have the works of Carly Rae Jepsen, Taylor Swift, and Kesha ever be besmirched in my presence.
We've learned something new about you there, Drew.
Honestly.
There we go. But no, we could be like them. I'm the slightly fatter older brother, the fat Batman, as they call him. We think of a new name for me, obviously, with the kids. And then you are the lavish, younger, dink brother.
Dink.
There we go.
Dink.
No kids, no responsibilities. That's what it should be. No kids, no responsibilities. We'll think of one for that.
Got a dog. He's worse.
Oh, you got a dog. Don't be one of those, I'm a dog father type of thing.
Yeah, doggy daddy. Oh, man. He gets treated better than me in this house. He gets fresh chicken cooked every morning. I get a trough that gets delivered every night. Just a trough. Beetroots.
Because that's how you eat, It's
out of a trough.
Shoveling in.
Yeah.
But yeah, post obviously our wonderful collaborators, Smart Technologies. There are other things you've got going on as well, which people might be interested in. Shameless plug.
real shameless plug. This is a shameless one. Yeah, we are hosting a well-being and professional development day over at SAFA British School, the SAFA conference. I think we will probably share a link to more information as this video comes out. Hopefully we can put that in the in the description.
Hashtag shameless plug next to it as well.
Hashtag shameless plug. Yeah. So yeah, we will be. It's actually being run by. It's been set up by one of our assistant heads, Ashraf. He's our brilliant leader of Arabic A, Islamic, and Arabic B, and it is all about sharing our experiences in Dubai. Sharing well-being tips. We've got a range of guest speakers, some great and some grey. Some grey, GRAYT.
Ooh,
great.
I like that.
There you go.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm not just here for the smiles. Yeah. So, if you would, to be honest, if you'd like more information, hit me up. As it's just going to be a load of teachers who like teaching, like talking about teaching stuff, getting together and talking about teaching. It's nice.
Best way. So SAFA British. What's the date for it? May.
Do you know? I think it's in May. Oh no, I can't think. I can't think off the top of my head. I've got so many dates with exam.
I was going to say May the 10th. No, it can't be. It's in May. We'll write it into the show descriptions and links. It's free.
It is free. It is free.
And there's some. I've already seen some people. Tom Sale, I know, has kind of plugged it already. Said he's going to be there. I hopefully will be there as well. You will be there, I'm sure, in some form of capacity. Whether it's just to point and look good or to drop some knowledge bombs, who knows?
I can only do one of those things.
Point and look good.
No, just one of those two things.
Point.
No, I don't have fingers.
I just look good. Who's this? That's it. It's like, who's got two thumbs and looks good? This guy.
This guy. No. Yeah, I'll be there helping out, probably making the tea, or they keep me in the back most of the time. Yeah, it's only you that allows me to come out and speak to people.
That's it. It's the demand. People prefer you to me.
What? Oh no, definitely not. But what I will say is, I was supposed to talk. My last public appearance was supposed to be at the Collab UAE. Yeah, it was, and I was supposed to talk about about AI. Funnily enough,
you talking? Wow.
Yeah, it was about a little program called Twee. Don't know if you've heard of it or used it.
I do remember you telling me about this.
Yeah. So it's a version of time saving for teachers. It helps with YouTube, making little questions about YouTube videos. It's actually really useful.
And that was the rain day, wasn't it?
And that was the rain day. That's where I said, I remember I said before, I'm sure I had somewhere to be. It was that, and that was the rain day that we were supposed to be there.
We remembered. Oh man. But exciting times ahead. So can the viewers and listeners expect to see more of you?
Oh yes. I'm back, baby.
Guess who's, I'm
gonna try
still some shady.
We gotta try some voiceover work as well. We can.
Yeah. Hi, welcome to Smooth Jazz. What would yours be?
Welcome to the International Podcast. It's nice to see you again, Alex. How's it going?
Oh, been all right, thanks, Drew. You sound like the doddery old grandfather you might have somewhere back in Manchester.
Hey there, Alex.
Hey there, child. I'm just thinking of
Family Guy.
Down in my pocket, child.
What?
Don't be afraid.
Say there, Chris.
This is a Family Guy reference, by the way, for anyone who doesn't get it. It's like, go and have a look at Family Guy. It's not just...
It's over there on the top shelf. You can reach just a little bit further. I'll stop now. You can cut that
You can
out.
stop. No, it's still everything's staying in today. Like,
man.
I just literally big bang boom, no edit, gone. Even the kids can stay in.
Yes. Well, they add to the fun.
They add to the fun.
But yeah, so what are you guys doing over spring break? Did we ask? Did I ask?
No, it's okay. Don't worry about me.
I do worry about you.
I think the kids might go off on a netball camp. I will be hunkering down just to get a few things done. Obviously, new position, a few things, a bit of house chore, jobs.
Congratulations again on that.
Thank you. Very kind.
I think it's going to be a really lucky place, Arcadia, to have you.
Shout out to Arcadia. Yep. And then we're away for a little bit. So Kerry's recently started Kerry's new jobs and moving around, but basically she's got Mondays off now, which is great. So it just means that this Monday, the following, and the following, like we get a 3-day weekend together. And the weather is, I imagine we'll be hitting up a bit of pool time, and just a bit of family time, and just chilling out, ready for the last term, as it were, and exams, and just getting a few things sorted.
And what a term it will be!
Oh yeah,
15 solid weeks.
Yeah, but I mean, when's you do
end of June?
When's exam study leave for you guys?
Oh, study leave. Yeah, it's not looking likely for us. I mean, yeah, to some extent, but I think we're looking at doing some kind of enrichment for students. So once the exam season's over, it'll be more about things to really prepare students, like you said about money budgeting, how to cook, fend for yourself as you get to university, that kind of stuff. And, all the stuff that they never taught me at school. So I lived off beans on toast for...
I lived off bread and cheese.
12 years until now.
Yeah. Now I'm the one at home who cooks, believe it or not. It's crazy.
No.
Crazy.
As it's Ramadan at the minute, what are you munching on for iftar this evening?
I'm trying to utilize the time I've got from Ramadan to be better. So I have given up caffeine, I've given up alcohol, and I'm trying not to eat past 7:00 because I just got to a point where I was probably more consumed with work and doing these types of things that I'd forgotten about rugby, forgotten about training. And basically, I'm in this mindset, if my kids leave any food, I'm like, so wasteful, I'll eat it. Same as what my dad was, which is why if we go to a restaurant, I normally never order anything. I just kind of eat off there. So we had a little bit of a chili earlier on. Leftovers from yesterday, because we always just overmake stuff. And so we some chili, which was grand. And that was at about, 6:00. So hour and 40 minutes ago. And once we are done here, I'm going to go sit down and do a little bit of marking. Everything for tomorrow. It's year 8 marking. It can easily sit in front of the TV, get it done, send the kids up to bed. They're bathed and showered already. And then, I was in the gym at 5:40 this morning.
Same.
It was amazing. We don't have to be in work till 8:00.
It's so good. It's so good. 8:30 for us. I mean, I'm in at 8, but
yeah, ours is 8. The kids are by quarter past 8 to 8:45. They're in. So we have to be in at 8, and we can leave by 2. So
yeah, ours is 8:30 till 2:30, and it's just nice.
Yeah, 8. If only. I don't mind finishing at half
traffic.
4 o'clock. Ooh. I know it's always going to be that, isn't it? Whereas Bloom World Academy,
flexi days.
I feel like I'm dropping a few names here, but one of their selling points is that later start. And it's
and it definitely works. I think
teacher well-being.
Emily. Yeah, I don't know if I've already spoken about this, but Emily was reading a book about how the working world is geared towards morning people, and there is a natural. Is it your circadian rhythm? I think that some people naturally just do work better at night. And for me, I am definitely one of those people. I am.
There is a term. I'm just looking it up.
Night owls. I you call them early birds, night owls, and then constantly exhausted pigeons is the, the joke there.
Yeah. But there is, I remember reading about it in terms of your genetics. So basically, in this conversation, there was 3 types of genetics, and there's a proper term for it. like in terms of the genome.
Yeah, I've got a feeling we spoke about this maybe a couple of years ago.
The genomic, like in terms of why you get people who are morning people who are like the mid, and people who are night owls, in terms of the protection of the tribe.
Yeah,
like
so some people are some people just stay up through the night, watch out around the campfire and it makes sense, you know. And I definitely think I'm one of those, and the lifestyle in Dubai of the 5 a.m. get-ups normally just I find so difficult. But if you're in the rhythm and then you've got Ramadan hours, you might as well just keep getting up at 5 a.m. in the morning, getting the same amount of sleep and just using that time. I understand, you know, the people who have like normal jobs where they would work at 9 a.m. And then I understand why they have the term the 5 a.m. club.
Yeah.
Because if you can actually go out and do stuff at 5 a.m., then there's so much more you can get done.
My alarm went off at 10 past 5. I was out of bed by 20 past. Jim and the kids were both up. Both my kids were awakened downstairs as I got up as well. So, you know, they're in that and they'll go to bed shortly. But I felt great getting to the gym. And actually the gym was really busy. Gym was really busy, and I can get home, get showered, no rush, no pressure. It's so good. And I feel really energized from it. So, to all those people watching, listening, Ramadan Kareem.
Indeed. Ramadan Mubarak.
Looking forward to the elongated spring break with the Eid, which should be good.
Will be very nice.
The next time we get back together, actually, you'll be able to tell us all about your holidays and your spring break. We look forward to
I will.
some photos. But for now, Mr. Drew Owen, it's been an absolute pleasure catching
Mr. Alex Gray. It's been more of a pleasure. Wow. It's been wonderful. Thank you very much for having me back.
Well, you give the people what they want, as they say.
Well, next time I'll wear a cap.
I got loads I could borrow. You could just lend them off to you.
Yeah. Well, honestly, it's been good to catch you.
It's been great. You can tell I'm more relaxed because everyone I interview properly, I always have the same shirt on. Whereas this is just like
greetings from a galaxy far, far away. I was choosing which one would make me look the buffest.
None.
You have arms for that.
Wasted away, my friend. Anyway, go forth, enjoy your evening. It has been amazing, big man. And we will catch up soon with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone listening, and love you all. Bye.